Welcome back to the final segment of Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, having a good time with my good pal, my good friend. It looks like it's hunting season here, but it is just February. With my good friend Al Conningson. If you happen to miss 2 tickets for that investing class, right here in Bloomington, it's a hands-on learning on how the stock market actually functions, how supply and demand works in the market, but most importantly, how us as average investors can make smart investing decisions. All you got to do is call 888-682-6466 for 2 tickets for this investing class, but you got to call right now to receive the quick start kit, which includes some free stock picks. So, Al, we talked about retirement in the last section, 401ks, IRAs, lowering fees when you self-direct, but then you have then it's your best interest, not your broker, not your advisor, which I would say it's typically a stranger dictating your future. And I just want to talk a little bit about on how they're conditioning you on how to think about them. They are saying, we're your trusted advisor. Keep your money with us because we're going to keep it safe for you. Well, did that happen in 2000? No. Did that happen in 2008? No. Is that happening right now when the markets are going down? No. But they're giving you advice that typically benefits them. So, Al, what do you think the advice that Wall Street is giving people that are going into retirement? What are they telling people, and what's the actual reality?
Yeah, and they're not necessarily saying that there isn't a retirement crisis, but it's how they go about advising their clients to deal with it. And this is, to me, is so frustrating. But that article that I mentioned, where it talked about the number of people that are going to run out of money in retirement,
Yeah.
went on to look at some of the suggestions that Wall Street makes. Here's
All
one.
right,
Okay,
sit down for this one,
get ready.
folks.
Here's work longer before retirement.
Wait, hold on. Work what?
Work longer before retirement.
Okay, that's some great
Okay,
advice.
work part-time after retirement, reduce expenses now, reduce them more in 5 years, prioritize and only spend on what is most important to you. In other words, don't have any fun, downsize, get a roommate. Now, how many of you out there would look forward to, as you retire, going on Craigslist and getting a roommate? But you
And
can,
that's from this article that you read.
that's
So
just in the article, yeah.
So it's crazy. They're conditioning the public
Yeah.
to do that stuff, to think it's normal. It's not normal. I don't believe getting a roommate when you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, that's normal for a lot of people, but they almost have to because they've been
Well, that's
conditioned.
true. Yeah.
They've been conditioned
Yeah.
for so many years that that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and we actually have seen that here, where people come in and they have had to rent out rooms in their homes to
Or
people.
working in retirement.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to do
Yeah.
that, but they have to, but
Well,
they're being
yeah,
conditioned.
and a lot of people work in retirement because they want to, but then you're able to choose what you want, not based on income, but based on how interesting or passionate you are about it. Here's another one: reduce your medical expenses. In other words, don't get sick, don't get injured, learn to live with pain. Uh,
How do you actually write this stuff without even laughing?
I don't know, but there are two things here that actually I think are critical,
Okay.
and we are the ones that really concentrate on this. One is add passive income to your financial plan,
That's a good
and
plan.
and most advisors out there are just showing you how to take money out of your retirement money, your retirement accounts. We want to show you how to generate income off of it, so you don't have to draw down other than your required minimum
Yeah, you need
distributions.
those income strategies for that.
Yeah, and then another one here is optimize your investment strategies, but they never really go into how to do that.
No.
And what we're talking about is we talked initially, I think, a little bit about the income portion of your life. Your financial life really is divided into two components: income and then wealth and retirement. I think in order to have the wealth retirement part, you have to know the income part first. Maybe the income from your job isn't enough. So you need to learn the short term income strategies, which we teach in these classes. And you can use those same strategies when you're in retirement. And the great thing about the ones that our students typically choose is that it allows them to have a much smaller amount of money. So you don't have to look at taking the bulk of your retirement money and putting it into the market or markets. Take a small amount, and they have leverage, which allows you to control a multiple of that amount in an investment. So maybe a $2,000 account, You might have the opportunity to be invested in $100,000 investment. So those are the things that we talk about in these classes.
Yeah, with we're talking about some different things in this article that Al was referring to. It's sad that they're conditioning people to that's what you're supposed to do. They're telling people you need to live on less and have less fun and do less because they know that there's going to be two hands in the cookie jar. And I want to make sure I have some advisor friends out there, and I want to make sure that because we have some conversations about this, we're not bashing the advisors. The people are good people. It's the industry is what's really fleecing the public, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So the key is to have those strategies so you hopefully keep more of your capital. But then, as Al was talking about, the two good ones, learn how to have income strategies off of them
Right.
and then preserve them. So hopefully they last longer. If you want to learn more about those retirement strategies, if you have a 401k, if you have an IRA or any money invested into the market, I'll tell you right now is probably the best time to learn those different strategies for that. We have investing classes right here in Bloomington. I'm going to give away 20 tickets for callers 1 through 10 for this investing class, but also a quick start kit, which will help you get started right away. Call 888-682-6466. That's 888-682-6466. Al, you talked about those income strategies that people are looking for, and you mentioned leverage, which means using less capital. Not because a lot of people think, oh, if they have X amount of dollars, let's just say an investor has $100,000, they think that they have to put all of that into the market.
Right.
That's not the case when you invest wisely. You take portions of that and keep a lot of it protected from market fluctuations.
Exactly.
So these leveraged assets you're talking about are actually open 24 hours a day. So think about this for a second. Let's just say an investor or a person that wants to retire, they don't want to, trade a lot, or they want to be able to have the fun that they want to have, but they want to be able to do that during the day. The stock market is only open 6.5 hours per day here Central Time in Minneapolis, 8:30 until 3 o'clock. These markets are actually open 24 hours, which means an investor can trade, say they like to be an early bird, early morning, or in the evening. So you dictate when you trade and invest. Explain those two leveraged assets real quick.
Yeah, yeah, and it's important to know that the world does not shut down just because the United States stock market shuts down. There's activities going on. There, different time zones. There are assets that trade essentially 24 hours a day. The foreign exchange market is one. That's where you're looking at the difference in exchange rates between two different currencies. That's really critical. Because that really impacts so many things in our life. The other one is the futures market. That trades about 23 hours and 45 minutes a day. That's essentially 24 hours. And both of those give you great versatility as to what you can choose and when you choose to do it. Uh, they're both short term and future, or Forex can be used long term for your retirement accounts too. But if you're looking for short term income, additional cash now, so you can have some fun now, and then maybe have a little extra money to put into that retirement bucket so you have more fun when you retire. That extra income can come from a number of things. It can come from another job. You can go out and get a second or third or fourth job if you want to.
That's true. As the article says.
Yeah, that's right. Or you can stay home and just learn how to trade assets that give you leverage and that have that 24-hour trading ability. That's futures and that's Forex. Those are two additional sources of income. Options is another one that's fantastic. And that's one that I think everybody should learn for their retirement accounts.
It's the most versatile. You can have strategies for up markets. You can have strategies for down markets, even sideways markets.
Right.
And that way, when you have those strategies, you just want the market to move. And Al, tell me this. Is the market going to always move?
As long as it's open.
As long as it's open, it's moving.
It's going to move.
There's always buyers and there's always sellers within the markets because that's, as you were talking about with Forex, that facilitates international trade and investment. That's actually the largest market out there. It's actually 25 times the size of the stock market. So basically, having a market that's open round the clock gives you opportunity. And that's the key, is having opportunity in your retirement years or even before them to have income strategies. If you want to learn more about that, we have these investing classes right here in Bloomington, and they're hands-on. They're in a physical class, and that's what I think a lot of people like. I asked people, what brought them in, and they said, I was looking for a physical place to learn how to trade and invest, whether it's my 401k and IRA. So these classes are about 2 hours long. They're right here in Bloomington, easy to get to right off 494. We have these during the week, but also on the weekends. So pretty much anybody can attend. Call 888-682-6466 for 2 tickets plus some free stock picks. That's 888-682-6466. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. When you do that, you're going to get a link back. Click the link, pick the date for the investing class that works best for you. You're also going to receive those free stock picks when you do that. Al, we have a lot of fun here talking about the reality of retirement accounts, what's happening, what people are being conditioned to do. So those are some good words of wisdom. How about a tip? Let's hear the today
Okay.
OTA tip of the week.
Well, I like to read and rely on nonfiction, factual, indisputable sources, also known as fortune cookies. I just happened to look at one the other day. I thought this was so appropriate. It said, if you live out of your imagination, you live out of your potential. We talk all the time about how powerful it can be to imagine, how you want things to be, imagine how you want your future, or what you want your future to look like. And the truth is that successful people often imagine themselves being successful before they are, and that helps them realize their full potential. So your imagination can be one of the most powerful tools you have to change your future. So now's a good time to start using it.
Yeah, that reminds me of that good old quote that I like. It's if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Take action now and learn the skills to manage your future. Call 888-682-6466 for tickets to an investing class here in Bloomington. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.